Exploring Abandonment to Divine Providence, Simplified Interpretation. Book 1, 5 of Chapter 1. The Divine Influence Alone Can Sanctify Us, Part 1. Reading or any other activity can only make us holy if they allow divine influence to flow through them. Envision your life as a grand adventure, with each moment offering a unique opportunity to uncover the divine plans laid out for you. Jean-Pierre de Caussade invites us to see the present moment as a gateway to God's will, a sacred space where His designs unfold. But here's the catch. Not all reading material is meant to guide us on this journey. Think about it like this. You pick up a book, eager to soak up its knowledge. But if it's not aligned with God's intentions for you, it's like trying to fill a cup with holes. It just won't hold the water. Instead, true fulfillment comes from doing God's will and heeding His divine nudges, allowing His grace to flow through every aspect of our lives, including our reading habits. Consider your reading choices. Are they leading you closer to God's plan for you? Or are they merely filling your mind while leaving your heart empty? When we prioritize obedience to God's will, even the simplest acts like reading become infused with meaning and purpose, enriching our souls and drawing us nearer to Him. So, let's be mindful of what we read and how it shapes our journey toward divine fulfillment. Imagine two individuals on their spiritual journey, a simple, humble girl and a proud, curious man. The girl, though lacking in worldly knowledge, embraces each trial and mundane task with unwavering trust in God's will. In her simplicity, she finds herself enveloped in a supernatural state of grace, her heart overflowing with divine life. Now, contrast this with the proud man, eager to expand his intellectual prowess through spiritual books. Yet, his motives are driven by curiosity rather than a genuine desire to align with God's will. As he delves into these texts, his mind may absorb the words, but his heart remains untouched. The divine will find no home in his reading, and his heart grows increasingly hardened and desolate. Consider your own approach to spiritual growth. Are you more like the humble girl, allowing God's will to work through the ordinary moments of life? Or are you akin to the proud man, seeking knowledge for its own sake without surrendering to divine guidance? Let the example of the simple girl inspire you to embrace humility and trust in God's will, for therein lies the path to true spiritual vitality. Think of your soul as a garden, flourishing under the care of the divine gardener. With each passing moment, God's will weaves through the fabric of your life, guiding you along the path of sanctity. Consider the tasks that fill your day, whether it's reading, contemplation, or attending to your responsibilities. Each of these moments presents an opportunity for communion with the divine, for it is the present duty that holds the key to your spiritual growth. Let's say you're engrossed in reading, absorbing knowledge and wisdom. If this is aligned with God's will for you in that moment, it becomes a conduit for grace, nurturing your soul and expanding your understanding. But what if the divine will calls you away from reading and into contemplation? In that shift lies the essence of sanctification, for it is the obedience to God's will that breathes life into your soul, not the specific action itself. And just as a garden requires different forms of care at different times, so too does your soul blossom under the varied expressions of God's will. Whether it's reading, contemplation, or acts of service, each duty forms, strengthens, and completes the new creation within you. Ultimately, the goal of this spiritual journey is the attainment of the likeness of Christ in your soul, a mysterious union ordained by God's wisdom and brought to fruition through His grace. So, as you navigate the moments of your day, remember that each duty, each circumstance, is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your sanctification. Surrender to the divine will, and watch as your soul blooms with the beauty of Christ Himself. Think of your soul as a fruit tree in the garden of God's creation, ripe with potential waiting to be harvested. Each duty, each task, is like a ray of sunlight, nourishing and nurturing the growth of this spiritual fruit. Picture yourself tending to your daily responsibilities, whether it's caring for your family, completing your work, or serving others. These duties, when embraced with love and obedience to God's will, become the fertile soil in which your soul's fruit flourishes. Just as a tree bears fruit in due season, so too does your soul yield its bounty through the performance of present duties. It's the divine will, working through these tasks, that brings about the growth, nourishment, and abundance of this spiritual fruit. Consider the moments when you've acted in accordance with God's will, perhaps showing kindness to a stranger, forgiving a friend, or lending a helping hand to someone in need. In those moments, you're like a gardener tending to the tree of your soul, ensuring that it bears fruit worthy of its divine origin. As you go about your day, remember that each duty, no matter how mundane or insignificant it may seem, has the potential to yield a rich harvest of spiritual fruit. Embrace each task with joy and obedience, knowing that through them, you are fulfilling the divine will and nourishing the growth of your soul's fruit. Imagine your life as a grand adventure, with each moment presenting a new opportunity to discover the better part. It's like being handed a treasure map where X marks the spot, and that spot is the holy will of God. Think about the times when you followed this divine compass. Maybe it was a decision to prioritize spending time with loved ones over work, or choosing forgiveness over resentment. In those moments, you've embraced the better part, allowing the wisdom, power, and love of God to guide your actions. Consider the alternative. Seeking fulfillment in the pursuit of our own desires, constantly searching for more or better, doubting whether God's plan is truly the best. That's like trying to navigate the treacherous seas of life without a compass, drifting aimlessly in a sea of self-love. But when we surrender ourselves completely to the holy will of God, trusting in its infinite wisdom and goodness, we discover a peace and fulfillment beyond measure. It's like finding a hidden oasis in the desert, where our thirst for meaning and purpose is quenched by the boundless love of our Creator. As you journey through life, remember that the better part is always within reach. Simply surrender yourself to the divine will with unwavering faith and confidence. In doing so, you'll find yourself on the path to true fulfillment, guided by the wisdom and love of the one who knows what's best for you.
Discover more than just the Baltimore Catechism and a treasury of prayers at Gentle Catholic Homeschooling. Delve into a captivating series of inspirational stories tailored for children and timeless classics of Catholic spirituality presented in simplified interpretations. Your support in this endeavor is not only deeply valued but also greatly appreciated. Don't miss out on future uploads by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel for more enriching content.